Well, first that I can see in this image is a school, like a poor school or a school that don't have enough resources. Also, I see a woman who is teaching some kids, probably from Africa. Also, a desk or a table with a lot of papers or tasks. And also the background on this image, I can see that it's a terrible situation or it's like a poor conditions because in the background, like the board is damaged or scratched around the time. Also, the floor don't have a good floor. It's like soil, and that's enough. It's don't have a good infrastructure in the school. And this image I can relate it for some problem or a global context because well the poorness in some countries or continents is now is probably a difficult situation, and also for example countries like Africa now that have poorless conditions and also don't have a lot of infrastructure to go run up. And also it's like the kids no the kids needs a lot of education protections some foods or storage. And also it's like it's to take account or it a village to raise a child because it's not only the responsibility for the parents, also is the responsibility for the government, also the schools or a social program to good or to support provide a good conditions for some kids. Well, we can see more than this context the image. Also this image the woman, for example, the woman is also teaching some kids, and this kind of activities is not for a normal activity, it's not for a normal teacher. I think it's more like a volunteering activities or like a work because well we can see in this image to contrast we can see also a woman who is probably from US or also England or a Europe country. Also the kids were from Africa, and also we have a contrast here no because for example the woman if is from US for example, um, I think it's like a reach the Africa country is like a reach out to the find a solution. No, for example, the country of Africa or some country of the continent of Africa research or view a solution about that problems. No, it can talk about or reach out to solution to US the government. And also I related this with the voluntary no volunteering activities and the types of volunteering because well the type of volunteerings are different like a formal informal governmental or social action on organization. And in this image we can see like it's a type of volunteering like for example governmental. In this case also the government of Africa talk about to US government for example to say some problems that the continent of Africa has and something like that no. And the American culture or also the government of US say like okay I send you some people to do a kind of voluntary like a social action to in the future it can relate or to give back to give back to the community. And it's so important because also teach people like education or some situations like that is good for a society no to reach a solution or to kindness in a war is good for all the countries. And I think well also the volunteering working are social activities that some kind of people do not to social action or social kindness for the feelings. In this case, for example, the government or US sent a person to teach some kids from Africa to teach about some like biologic, for example, biologic topics or themes like I don't know the cells, the basic information, no, the basic information of the biology because for example I don't know the cells also the DNA or something like is important to know about the illness bacteria kind of virus and how can the kids of Africa can protect about that situations. Also I think it's good for all And also a voluntary or a social organization is the best. Also voluntary, the types of volunteering are so important because, for example, we have the government. In this case, I can imagine or I can infer that is a type of volunteering of a work or some like government action. Also informal because formal have the manage to some people and to incur some people. And I think, well, also the actions that do some country or some continent to other, in this case, a countries, or it can be a person. No, if you have a good relationship with others and you have a voluntary actions to social kindness, it can good for all because the actions speak to trade more like the words. You need to say more or you need to do more things that you say. Some governments actually say more like they do. And nowadays we need to have governments that do things or make a lot of things about the social situations more like the words. And well, thank you for seeing. That is voluntary.